This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Welcome to this episode of Forge Daily. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, coming to you June 3rd, 2024. Forge FC coming off a win on Saturday against York United. They now have 13 total points after 7 games played. In today's episode, we'll go over exactly what went down during this York matchup, hear from some players after practice, then also have a listen into the post-match press conference with Coach Bobby and Tristan Borges. I'm going solo for today's episode, but you can expect to hear from Steve Milton a little later this week when he and I preview the Cavalry matchup. So let's get into this 9:05 derby because this 3-0 win meant a lot to a Forge team who went winless in CPL action for the month of May. 4 changes to Forge FC's starting 11 following their defeat to Atletico Ottawa. To name a few, Malcolm Duncan starting right back and Jassim Khalilat between the goalposts. An interesting start to the game. Both teams trying to find some rhythm and momentum, but York United kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. It would be Kwesi Poku and Dav Chouanier to pressure the opposing goalkeeper, and then he makes the mistake of trying to sneak in between them, ends up laying it off to Kyle Bekker for the easy tap-in the 29th minute. If you were at the game, you would have heard Bekks' goal song start playing shortly later. For today's episode, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and share the conversations I had with these goal scorers because they told me what their goal songs are and why they chose them. Here's what Bekks had to say.
The Stroke, and it's from Billy Madison.
Okay, I know the song.
Yeah.
Okay, does it have any deeper meaning for you, or?
It's from Billy Madison. That's the deeper meaning, and it's unbelievable. It's hilarious when he's kicked out in the tent in the backyard and he's just getting after it, burning it down.
So that's the whole.
Yeah, that's what it's from.
Short and to the point. Fair enough. If you've seen Billy Madison, you probably know exactly what Bekks is talking about. Goal number 2, not even 5 minutes later, comes from a great transition ball over the top from defender Alex Ashinyote-Janssen. And credit to Kwesi Poku for staying on side and getting to the end of it. He would cut it back for Tristan Borges at the top of the 18-yard box. And if you saw Borges receive this pass, you knew in the moment exactly what was about to happen. No hesitation, put his head down and cranked it into the back of the net. Now, Borges has a unique goal song, I must say, and most of you probably know what I'm talking about, but I was extra curious to hear his explanation for this one. Here's what he had to say.
Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon. So it's just, for me, it's just a classic. I don't know if a lot of people know that about me, but I like that kind of music. I love Frank Sinatra. I like listening to him, especially before a game to kind of calm me down. But it's also something that a little bit more personal side of it. I have a cousin of mine that an older cousin that me and him were very fond of Frank Sinatra, and we like listening to him together. So
no way.
And especially he's also someone I go golfing with and stuff like that. So I have a good relationship with him. And yeah, I just thought about it, and it's perfect because I like more soothing music like that sometimes.
There you go, a little Frank Sinatra for Forge FC to enter halftime, up 2-0. Not long into the second, though, a brilliant combination from Forge FC. Everybody picture this. Malcolm Duncan into a central Dav Chouanier. He plays it out one time to Tristan Borges. Borges dribbling inside a little bit, finding Kwesi Poku. Makes another unreal play for a second assist. One touch to gather himself, another to lay it off to casual left back Daniel Parra, who's making his way into the 18-yard box to finish yet another goal, bottom right corner. An unreal play, honestly, from the entire team. That would be the third and final goal for Forge FC. At this point, you may have been on your feet because they were up 3-0 or because of Daniel Parra's Mexican music playing over the speakers.
Well, I chose that song because I remember my country, because it's Mexican music, and I like to hear that type of music when I'm far from my home. So it's like a way to remember my country, my friends, my family. So yeah, it's what good, and it's for the people to dance, and it's I think it's a funny song. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a great song. What's it called?
La Nena.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was in the press box like.
Yeah, I know.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a song to dance. So yeah, you can dance wherever you want. It's a song so you can enjoy it. So
yeah, love it.
That's what I chose that.
I did just add that song on Apple Music, and you can do the same. If you're listening on audio, I've included the names of the songs and the artists in the description, just in case you didn't catch them. And then if you're on YouTube, of course, you can see them on the screen. But anyways, as I said earlier, that would be all of the goal-scoring action we saw throughout the game. I do have to give credit, though, one more time to Kwesi Poku, this time for a defensive goal-stopping play. It was in the 60th minute. It came from an attempted volley off a York United player, and he's just in the right spot at the right time. Allows goalkeeper Jassim Khalilat to go home with not only a second appearance, but second clean sheet. So a few opportunities for York United, but ultimately a decisive win for Forge FC. Now let's move on to that post-match press conference. Here's what Coach Bobby had to say on his thoughts on the game, as well as the team's overall form now that they've picked up another win again.
Obviously, it's easier when you have a week in between and you're not coming off of such a physically and emotionally draining midweek game that we had last week. But that's part of what you do in this league. This week, I thought the guys were a little bit more fresh in getting out there, and mostly what we asked was for them to control the tempo. When we got to go a little bit quicker, when to slow things down. They were missing Brian Wright in the team, so we know that kind of changes a little bit the way they'd have to attack. Maybe not having so much of the ball in depth. So we needed to make sure that we're a little bit patient. We picked our moments to go forward. Yeah, I don't know if it's York, because I think in all our games we've been pretty good. Even in the games we've lost, I thought we've played some good football. And football is strange. You can do all the right things and things don't work out for you. But just so happens in these games we're doing the right things. We're scoring early, which is, I think it's important for us. Historically it's always been a very good thing if Forge scores midway through the half or earlier. That opens up the game. A lot of teams that we face, by design or not, will sit a little bit deeper against us, and this makes the field a little bit more open. And when the field's a little bit more open, I think we're able to create a lot more. And you don't need a team that's super fresh, and maybe that's what we were missing last week when we were playing against a little bit of a lower block.
The importance of scoring early and often. If you've listened to this podcast over the past couple weeks, you'd know that is a big factor into this team's success. And one of the contributors to that is Tristan Borges. Here's what he had to say at that post-game press conference regarding what the team's mindset was entering this York United matchup and how motivating it is to have a roster with this much quality and depth.
Yeah, for us, it's just, the main thought is always just try to get 3 points, right? It was a little bit of a tough result the last game that we played, so for us it was just kind of getting back in that win column, and we knew that the most important thing was just kind of control the tempo, which I think we did. And that's the most important thing. We got the 3 points. We're focusing on the next one. I think that's always kind of been a great thing that Forge has been able to have quality, within the whole squad, and I think that kind of pushes us to, keep performing every single game. And I think that's what it takes to kind of have a professional environment. When you have a quality group of players, it kind of brings the quality up every single day, and we understand that you got to keep bringing it every single week. And I think the rhythm has been very, very good. I think the chemistry has been good, and for us it's just we keep going every single week.
Okay, one more conversation that I want to share before we wrap up, and that is with defender and now goal scorer, I guess, Daniel Parra. I asked him if he's always been an offensive defender and what's working for him in terms of his integration into this Forge FC team this season.
Yeah, that's at what point in my career some coaches tell me like your first work is defense. So because I always have that instinct to go into the front, but I think I know now how in which part of the game I can go in the front when I need to defend. So yeah, you can see both parts when we play against Montreal. The most part of the game I'll defend. Even if I make a goal that game too, it was like more defending. So when I have the opportunity, when I see spaces in the game, I like to go front, and Bobby gave me that opportunity, that confidence. So the way that we play, I think, is helped me a lot to go in front, and I understand very well with Benny, with Bekks, with the other guys. So yeah, it's like a compliment. So it's a confidence from my teammates and the coach, and the staff.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, my last one for you is what you like about this attacking group, because we're seeing Kwesi Poku in the number 9 right now, which is a pretty untraditional thing for a lot of fans. What are you liking about him up top and just like the offense in general?
Yeah, he has a lot of qualities. He's an offensive player, so it's big, it's strong, it's fast. So he has all the qualities to play in there, and with the time he will be improving in that position. So great players can play every part of the field, I think. So he can do it very well, and we'll see in the games. Yeah.
I was gonna say, nice that he can turn and lay it off to you for
Sure.
one. Yeah,
It's good for me. Yeah.
that will conclude today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed learning about the goal song stories. I know I enjoyed asking about them. Tomorrow I'll be back with another episode of Behind the Beard, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, don't worry, the Mac and Milty show will be back. Sorry it had to go on hiatus today. I'll be back to check in on the audio network tomorrow.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.